my friends, and welcome to my assumptions video, which is a very interesting concept. I have never done a video like this before. I guess it's kind of like a Q&A. Normally not a fan of when people assume things about me, and I don't like to assume things about people. I'll never forget one of my favorite teachers was my 9th grade English teacher, and she had a way for helping us remember how to spell assume, because when you assume things, you make an ass out of you and me. But a lot of you suggest this for video ideas when I post it on my Insta story, and so I just typed them all out on a note on my laptop. I'm taking questions from my YouTube post and also my Instagram direct messages. So, let's get started. So, I'm just going to read them off my laptop, which I have propped up on the couch. I assume that you're really nice in person and would be honored to pass by you someday. That's so sweet. Oh my gosh, right off the bat, this is reminding me of like the snap cups from Legally Blonde. You know, when you just say something nice about someone and you put it in the cup and they'll snap. I can only snap with my right hand though, so. But yeah, I love whenever I've had some of you come up to me in public, and I love meeting you and talking to you. So definitely, if you see me in public, just say, "What's up, girl?" And I'll say, "What's up, girl?" back. You want to travel more. Yes and no. I love working in New York, so my favorite jobs are a lot of the ones that are in New York, and it feels more routine to me, especially when I work with like repeat clients. But I do love traveling. For work, it's a little more hectic because I'm there literally airport, shoot, hotel, airport again, or vice versa. So I don't really get to see the locations I go to. I would like to travel more on my own, like take a vacation. Honestly, the last vacation I took was to go to the Indy 500 last year, which is about the most unglamorous thing ever. You know, all my friends went to Coachella, and I ended up going to the Indy 500 with a bunch of my guy friends from high school. Honestly had a blast though, but I would like to travel more for myself and actually get to spend time at the locations. You love Christ but also support gay marriage. I certainly do. I am the biggest advocate for LGBTQ plus community, and I'm so supportive, and I think that this message alone, and I don't want to get too aggressive in my videos, but this is why I don't particularly identify with a certain church. I believe more in God's love and sharing God's love with others. So to have somebody say that, personally I'm straight, but just because I'm advocating for LGBTQ community, people in the church are already ostracizing, and I think that's just such a negative thing. In my spiritual faith, in my connection to God, and my learnings from Jesus Christ's message was love others. And that's what I take from it, and that's what I want to do. And it hurts me to the core to think there are people out there who are persecuted and just have so much adversity and hate towards them just because of who they love or who they are on the inside. I truly, truly believe you are so, wow, this is getting a little like emotional. I really, really believe that everyone is made so special and so loved by God. Love yourself. God made you the way you are. Be you. So yes, I do, to answer that assumption. IDK, why you are so serious? It gives me curiosity, but maybe it's just me. It's kind of a weird one. I don't really mean what they mean by serious. I'm honestly like the most low-key person ever. Once tweeted, "I'm so low-key, I'm almost no-key." But yeah, I don't take myself serious. That is one of the ways I've learned to have fun in life, is to laugh at yourself and don't take it so serious. Have fun. Obviously, there's moments I do take serious, like my work, my career, my family, my friends. I can't believe someone actually thought I was serious. You seem like you're not from New York City or California. Nope. I'm from Morton, Illinois, the good old pumpkin capital of the world. That was a tourist plug for you, Morton. Now you're going to be getting waves of tourists just coming to look at the cornfield and pumpkin patches. I assume that you feel like you were born in the wrong era. I can see where people would think that, just based on most of the music I like is 70s, 80s, classic rock and disco and older music, and I'm big on the vintage clothes and everything. But I never have once thought I wanted to be born in a different era, or I wanted to be alive during the 70s. Like, of course, I wish I could have seen Fleetwood Mac perform the Mirage Tour in 1982. Like, obviously. But As a society, the way women and minorities and the LGBTQ community were treated back then, it's still bad now, yes. We have a long way to go, but we've come such a far way. I would not want to go back to a time where I was treated less because I was a woman, or I was expected to grow up and get married and have kids. Yes, there's still remnants of that in our society today, but I think we're really, as a generation, making great progress to try and evolve into a better place for everybody. You don't speak any language besides English. Je parle un peu de français. I took 4 years of French in high school, remember very little, and the thing I've learned about French is the way we're taught in American schools to speak French, and then if you actually go over to France or countries where they speak French, they talk at like 100 words per minute, or I don't know. They talk so fast that I will hear like just one word, and that's the only thing I can understand. And then if I were to try to say a sentence back, it would take me probably an hour. You're an introvert. Well, technically, I'm an INFJT. My Myers-Briggs personality. INFJT, which I guess is one of the more rare ones, but let me Google what it means exactly, because I know what it is, FJT. But the I part means introvert. The advocate is what INFJT is. Blah, 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 lots of stuff. Oh, Alanis Morissette was an INFJT. And Nelson Mandela, cool. I'd say I'm an introvert, but once you get to know me, I'm definitely an extrovert. Like, among my friends, I have no filter. I already feel like I have no filter in here, and like you guys are my friends, but that's just because I'm talking to my phone right now. I'm just like chilling. So I'd say I'm an introvert with like a secret extrovert side. You're shy meeting new people. My mom actually taught me to be super welcoming and very inviting. So when I meet someone new, I want them to feel welcomed and invited into, I was gonna say my home, but I have an apartment and I don't really meet people in my apartment. But you know, I always just want to be nice when I meet people. So I guess I do have a little shyness in me, but I get over it by thinking they're probably shy too. And why not make them feel less shy or less uncomfortable by, you know, making conversation, making jokes. You love cats and dogs equally. Yeah, that's actually true. I do have a cat now, Cooper, who is right there, sleeping on his throne. So yes, Cooper is the love of my life, but I also love dogs equally. I grew up with 3 German Shepherds, so I can never say I'm a cat or a dog person. I just claim I'm a cat person right now out of respect for Cooper. You're not materialistic. I'm not materialistic in the sense where I necessarily really care about brand names. I'm more materialistic in like a nostalgic way. For example, right now in my closet area, I have notes that I wrote to myself in high school, like, you got this, you can do this, like motivational notes for like history tests and stuff like that I probably don't need to keep, but I have them. And I have all my softball equipment still with me, and my softball uniform when I haven't played since my senior year of high school at this apartment. Or even if it's a shirt that I can't even fit into anymore, but I had, you know, an amazing night with my friends that night, or just a special memory attached to it. I have a hard time letting that go. I'm trying to really work on that because there's so much clutter in this apartment. It's just insane. You don't love cooking. I actually like cooking. I just am sometimes lazy, and the whole process of waiting for food, I get very impatient. So I like simple, quick, healthy, easy recipes, which is what I try to share with you guys. I'm not the best cook in the world, as you've seen before. Literally blew up a pan bottle, but learn from that. And now, to be honest, I'm a little bit afraid every time I use the oven because of that situation. You're just okay with other models, but not really close. Okay. Oh, like acquaintances? Well, some of my best friends are models, and some of my best friends are people I went to school with. So I'd say I have a mix of non-model to model friends. And yes, it's nice to have model friends because they understand, they have the same job, they get that like planning, scheduling is impossible because you'll find out you have a job last minute. But also, To me, my model friends, I don't think of them as like my model friends. They're just my friends. Because at the end of the day, it is our career and our jobs, but that's such a little part of who you are as a person. Everyone in high school had a crush on you. Not to my knowledge, I did not have a boyfriend in high school. I just kind of kept to myself in high school, but I also was like a little dorky, and I just hadn't grown into my body yet. I was just awkward and dorky and socially awkward. I mean, I still kind of am a little bit now, but at least I own it. Also, I was too afraid to even like flirt with boys. I didn't know like how that went. I didn't know like the system. And to be completely honest, like no shade, but high school boys, like I'd have crushes, but also I'd be like, it's kind of annoying how they're like shouting at each other across the hallway. Or it's kind of annoying how they're wearing sliders with socks. Like they did not know how to dress. I just kind of had the sense that it's probably better to avoid them, and I'm kind of glad that I did. You eventually want to pursue acting along the way. Life's what you make it, and I want to make mine the most I can. So I'll take any opportunity I can get. I've always loved the playing a part aspect of modeling, so I think with acting that's something I would enjoy as well. I have done a little acting actually. I've done a couple commercials, and I did a TV show, the pilot of it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name because it's kind of in this state of they don't know if it's gonna air or on which network. And I shot it so long ago, it's been so excruciating to wait for that to come out. But that's just how Hollywood is these days, you know? I assume that you're a very down-to-earth person who keeps a close circle of friends rather than being friends with a ton of non-genuine people. You're a hard worker, but you love to relax. You're pretty shy, but you love to take risks. You are confident in your body and work hard for it, but some days you feel insecure. Wow, I feel like I just had my palm just read. That's pretty on point. I do have a close circle of friends, and I guess I don't like non-genuine people. I think I've said that in my videos before, like being genuine is like one of the #1 qualities I see in people. Like realness. You are a hard worker, but you love to relax. Yeah, of course I love to have days where I just take a nice bath, I listen to some soft rock, the same kind of music they play in the grocery store. But also I get antsy and stir crazy if I have like a day to myself. I really am a true Capricorn, and so I love to stay busy. So hard work, yes, and then on my days off I want to be doing something productive, like making a YouTube video or painting and drawing. I guess painting and drawing is relaxing, but I always see it as like, I want to make this painting. You don't like living in New York City very much. That cannot be further from the truth, although I really, really do miss my hometown a lot, and I have such fond love for it. I love living in New York. I love the diversity, the culture. I love that I can get frozen yogurt delivered to my door at 3 in the morning. I just love the energy living here gives me, and the fast-paced mentality everyone has that's go, go, go. Even after living here for a while, there's still those moments where I will be walking around and I just want to throw on New York, New York by Frank Sinatra and tear up a little, because it's an emotional experience to be here. This is somewhere I dreamed of living my whole life. I didn't come here for modeling. I moved here to go to school and then got scouted, but I knew from when I was a little girl that I wanted to live in New York City, even before I had even taken a trip here. My foot keeps falling asleep. And yes, I'm wearing leggings, because I knew you guys would only see the top half of me, so I wasn't going to put on jeans. I got these leggings from Gymshark, by the way. So comfortable. You get special treatment based on how you look. I'm not going to deny that I have privilege. I'd be a complete fool not to admit that that exists. I even notice it myself on days when I will go to the grocery store done up versus on days when I go in my sweatpants and no makeup on, and my hair is just a grease ball. I mean, I'm sure most people can notice that difference in their lives when you dress up versus when you don't. And I think a big key to having that privilege is acknowledging it. You check your privilege. You're very intelligent and did well in school. Well, thank you. I like to think I'm intelligent. I do say the word like way too much. I know this from editing my videos, and I have to edit out the word like. I'm really trying to work on my vernacular. But I did do well in school, mainly because, as I said, hard worker, school is my life, and I wanted to get the best grades I could so I could get into a good school. And I just genuinely loved schoolwork. I loved the feeling of having a really hard math problem and then the feeling when you finish it and you solve it. I missed that. Someone sent me some math problems to do, geez. Maybe I should do Sudoku. You were told all the time to be a model when you were little. This is true, mainly because I was just very gangly and tall, and it was either that or, oh, she should be in the WNBA, but then they'd come see me play basketball and see that I had no coordination, so that one was just off the table. But I never really thought of modeling as an actual plausible career for me. Of course, I watched the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and I loved the supermodels like Giselle and Adriana Lima. I just didn't think that could ever be me. I assumed that you had an eating disorder at one point, but are now recovered/recovering. I honestly have never struggled with any kind of eating disorder. My weight fluctuates when I'm stressed sometimes, but I've always kind of shimmied around the same weight. I was heavier in the past when I was on certain medications, and when I went off, I went back to my more smaller frame. Yes, looking a certain way is part of my job, so I see it as like an athlete trains. Like, they train hard and they eat healthy. And I generally like eating healthy, but I've never felt like I was restricting myself or working out when I didn't want to. I love working out. That's one of my favorite stress relievers ever. You are pouting your lips all the time. I have a very bad overbite. I think it's like 80%, which is why you can rarely ever see my bottom teeth, and I always talk like this. It's a little bit of a lisp. I assume that you were a solid B student in high school. Okay, I mean, I don't want to brag, but I got A's. I think, oh, my feet, I keep sitting on them weird. Oh, there we go, it's more comfortable. I'm sitting crisscross applesauce right now. People make assumptions about you since you're a model without actually knowing you. This is very true, and why when Uber drivers or random strangers I have conversations with ask what I do, I just always say student, because I know the connotations and assumptions people have about models. Even though I'm proud of my job and I love to change people's opinions on the assumptions of fashion models, it's just, you know, when it's a 2-minute Uber ride, I just not in the mood for that right then. You're shy, polite, and a really nice girl. One of those that are loyal friends, but it's difficult to win their trust. Sorry for my English. Well, don't be sorry. I admire you for being able to speak a second language, and I definitely wish that I could. I'm shy, but I get over it, I would say. I guess because part of this job is you do have to go on a lot of castings and work with new people a lot, so I kind of have to learn to put myself out there. You're one of those loyal friends, but it's difficult to win their trust. I am ride or die for my friends. If you need anything, I'll be there for you. And the trust part, I guess that's true. I'm very cautious because I know people can be manipulative, and I won't shut people out. But then on the other hand, I'm a very open person. Just all the TMI stuff I've said to you guys. So I'll be open, but yes, it's gonna take me a while to trust somebody. Like, for example, it will take me a pretty long time to trust someone enough to where I'd let them watch Cooper. Like, that's something usually I only let my close friends do. You look intimidating and cold at social events, and sometimes want to keep to yourself, but other times you actually want to talk to people, but get anxious about starting a conversation. My biggest thing with social anxiety is just the initial going up to someone and saying, hi, how are you? If they approach me, then I'll be super open and have an easy conversation. It's just that initial, like, hi, I'm Alexandria. Like, at a party, I feel like I'd be annoying someone if I just came up to them and I was like, hey, I'm Alexandria. Which is why I probably could never be on The Bachelor, because you have to be aggressive or else you are not getting the rose. You cannot hang with people who take themselves too seriously. Definitely, like, I'm not a serious person. I joke about everything. I'm not a fan of people who take themselves too seriously. I mean, of course you should have self-respect, but I like funny, inviting, warm people. You've never actually traveled outside of work. I never saw the ocean until I was 16 when my family went on vacation to Gulf Shores, Alabama. And when I do want to travel, I usually just want to go back home to see, like, my friends and family in Illinois. The glamorous Illinois vacation. Hanging out at Walmart. You've thought about pursuing a career in music. I love music. It's one of my biggest passions. I love songwriting. I think that just stemmed off of my love for poetry. I'm learning to play the guitar and play the ukulele, and I love to sing, and I dribble a little bit on the piano by ear. I just know that's a very hard industry to get in, and I love my career as a model. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying I've never taken voice lessons, never taken music lessons, and I can't even read music. Yes, I was in 7th grade band and I played the French horn, but I was really bad at it, and I played by ear. So I think that to be in a music career, you would probably have to read music first. You are not a very romantic person. Not in the sense of like, oh, candles, flowers, sexy music, The Notebook, Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds, shirtless dudes, beautiful women, diamonds. Not in that sense at all. Yes, I enjoy rom-coms, not gonna lie, but the super like romantic ones are kind of just too much for me. Oh, I'm not a very romantic person in that sense, but I do romanticize things like the moon and the sunset, the past, which is so bad to romanticize the past, but it's easy to do. So I am romantic, but not in the sense of really towards another person. There's part of you, perhaps your inner child, that still believes in magic, fairies, and unicorns. I'm a very logical person, but I do still like to believe that there's magic in this world. You are a tomboy. I think so. I don't know. I really hated the whole labeling of like tomboy, girly girl category when I was a kid because I didn't know where I fit. Because I did play sports and I had a lot of friends who were boys and I liked going outside and getting dirty. And then also I had the side that loved Barbies and I loved the color pink and whatever, nail polish. I'm trying to think of like girly things, but now I'm realizing this is also stupid because gender's fluid and a girl can like things that is typically male and a male can like things that are typically female. I feel like those phrases like tomboy and girly girl are kind of outdated. For a modern example, I like to go to dive bars and drink beer with my guy friends and watch Cubs games. But I also like to go shopping and gossip with my friends who are girls and get my nails done. I don't think that a person is that one-dimensional that they fall on either side, really. Your goal is VS. Baby, I got so many goals going out of my soul. I don't know what that phrase came from. Oh, of course it's one of my goals. I feel like most models, that's such an amazing career opportunity. And yeah, I've fantasized more about walking down the Victoria's Secret runway than walking down the aisle ever. Mainly because I don't want to get married. But I have so many goals. It's just like, when it's Thanksgiving, you low-key wish you ate meat. Well, have I got a surprise for you. Before I stopped eating meat, I never once ate turkey on Thanksgiving. I thought it was dry and gross, and I always just liked the sides. You find it easy to make friends. Yes and no. Like, for example, there's this girl at the Starbucks I go to who seems so cool. And I'd love to be friends with her, but it's, how do you do that without seeming like a weirdo? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that you could hit on people platonically. Yo, girl, you want to come out for brunch with me tomorrow? I guess the thing is, now it's hard to make friends when you're not in school anymore. And also my job, I travel a lot. Like, I don't really have coworkers. Like, yes, I'll have models who I met on castings, became friends with, and on jobs, and hair and makeup artists. But it's always changing, so where like there's different models at every casting, there's different hair and makeup artists and teams at every shoot. So it's not as easy to build up a daily back and forth, a daily like seeing them that often, because you'll see them once and then you have to go to LA or they have to go to London, and it's just hard scheduling wise. You are confident and never get insecure. I would really like to meet one person who's never insecure, because I don't think that person exists. Of course I get insecure, I'm human, everyone does. But I am confident, not all the time. But I look up to a lot of strong, amazing women. My mom, Cher, Dolly Parton, Stevie Nicks, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But anyway, having examples of strong, confident women really helps me be like, you have that in yourself too. And if you take anything from this video, you have that confidence in you. You just gotta find the right song to bring it out. I used to read every book you could get your hands onto as a child. I did love reading, but I loved being outside more. I was more of climbing trees and playing softball and that whole shebang. But I did love Series of Unfortunate Events and Twilight. I was obsessed with Twilight, which is, you know what? Twilight gets a bad rap. I still will watch the movies if they're on TV. Hashtag Team Jacob for life. I would rather stay home than go out and party. It really just depends on the night. Like if I have a shoot on a Friday and I'm up at 6 a.m. working all day, when I come home and my shoes come off, they are staying off. But there are nights when it's Saturday night and I want to get my Saturday night on. I want to get dressed up and put my makeup on, listen to some jams to pump me up. Sometimes getting ready is the funnest part, but yeah, every once in a while I like to go out. But I wouldn't consider myself really a partier per se. Anyway, I think I've rambled enough through all of the assumptions. And if you take anything from it, don't assume things about people, even though I encourage this video. But there's so many people where I've had a first impression that was wildly different from who they are. Or it's so easy to look at someone and judge them on their outside appearance, or their living environment, or their job situation, or whatever. But people are strange and weird and wonderfully different. So don't make assumptions. Anyways, I'm gonna go, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the flip side.